Welcome to week 5 of this 40-week prenatal yoga series. In today's class, we focus on surrendering into the process that is pregnancy and that is becoming a mother. We're going to move with the breath and we're going to focus on surrendering, softening and letting go in each of the poses to help us practice softening into this experience as well. Let's start our practice today in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So bring your props in. Today I'm going to use a block and a bolster. So we're coming into a reclined pose to start with today. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So depending on how flexible your hips are as to whether you need props underneath them, it can feel really nice to have a rolled blanket. So if you've got a blanket handy, just roll it up and then bring it over the feet and then sort of tuck it under the hips a little bit. So there's not as much opening through the hips here, so that when we lean back, we feel nice and supported. It also feels nice to have that gentle pressure on the feet. Let the palms face up, close down the eyes if you haven't already. And just allow yourself to sink into this position. Being conscious of those supports beneath you, the bolster beneath the back, the blanket beneath the hips, and gently pressing on the feet. As you inhale, and then exhale, let the exhale take you deeper. Feel a heaviness in your body. Sometimes at the start of our practice, there can be this little bit of an itchy sensation, a need to get going, to feel like you're doing something. Let's see if we can soften into that feeling. Notice it, allow it to be. But also release the expectation that you need to do anything. Releasing this idea that resting is not also productive, particularly during pregnancy when your body is already doing so much. On your next inhale, let's take the hands above the head. Hold onto the forearms with the hands and then rest the hands on the bolster behind you. So letting the elbows once again fall out to the side. And noticing how this creates some sensation through the chest, maybe also through the shoulders. And again, using the breath, that exhale, to bring a heaviness to the body. Consciously resting and relaxing into the props beneath you. On your next breath, release the hands. Let's move this blanket out the way. You won't need it just for the moment. And then take the feet to the outer edges of the mat. And just let the knees move from side to side, moving them with the breath, inhaling over to one side. And then exhaling them over to the opposite side. And then exhale the legs over to the left. Take the hands above the head once more. Hold onto the left wrist and draw it over to the right side. So moving into a bit of a spinal twist here, but keeping it nice and gentle. You can look over to the right side as well if that feels good. Keep breathing fully through the lungs, using the breath to extend the stretch, and then also to soften into this position. So notice where your body might be gripping and use the breath to release. Inhale as you draw the knees back through center, and exhale them over to the right side, holding onto the right wrist this time, looking over to the left. And breathing here. Bringing the arms back to center, bringing the knees back to center. Release the hands down to the mat, and even though we're super early days of this pregnancy, we want to start practicing using the hands to support you to come up. During pregnancy, we're not using the core muscles to bring ourselves up. That can put too much strain, particularly as the belly gets nice and big. So start practicing using those hands for support. We're going to come now into a malasana. You might like to keep the bolster handy so that when we come into our malasana, it's a nice gentle malasana seated on the bolster. If you have a regular yoga practice already and you're like, hell no, I want the full malasana, feel free to come into that here. But if you're maybe just starting yoga in this pregnancy, you might want to make it a little bit more gentle today, and that's okay. So I want you to find the feet connected with the mat wherever you are. So even if you're in the supported variation, you can still press and ground down firmly through those feet. I want you to press the hands together and lift through the heart. And let the belly be soft as you breathe into this space. So whichever variation you're in now, we're going to release the hands down to the mat and shift the weight into the toes as we inhale and start lifting the hips towards the sky. As you exhale, I want you to shift the weight into the heels and sit back into the hips, rising the arms up into your chair pose. A slightly wider variation of chair pose as the feet were already a little bit wider for our malasana. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down, lift the hips back up, come to your forward fold and just sway the upper body out. Next inhale, I want you to shift the weight back into the balls of the feet. Take the hips down, come to your malasana. Your choice whether you sit back onto that bolster or stay up on the feet. Let's do the same thing a couple more times with the breath. Inhale, weight comes into heels, forward fold. Exhale, take a seat, rise the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come sit all the way back into your malasana, coming to that restorative variation if you'd like. You might like to rock and roll like I do, just moving through the hips a little more. And then inhale, lift the hips, forward fold. Exhale, take a seat, chair pose. Inhale, back, forward fold. Exhale, take a seat, malasana. Let's add on a little bit here now. As you inhale, forward fold. As you exhale, take a seat. Inhale, press, rise to stand. Reach to the sky. And then exhale, forward fold all the way back down. Good. Inhale, take a seat. Take a breath here in your malasana, either hands grounded or hands to prayer. It's up to you. Inhale, rise the hips, forward fold. Exhale, take a seat, chair pose. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, forward fold. Lower the hips, malasana, take a breath here. Let's do one more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's stay here in our forward fold. You might like to wriggle the feet a little bit closer towards each other underneath the hips. Keep the knees nice and bent and just let that upper body hang. It should be nice and soft. You might even nod and shake the head a few times, releasing any tension. And then we're going to bring the hands underneath the chest. So if you're quite tight through the legs, you might like a prop underneath the hands here. So you could bring a block or the bolster just underneath the hands to bring the floor a little closer. And then from here, we're going to leave the right hand on the ground and inhale the left arm up to the sky. You're welcome to bend into the right knee so that you're getting a little bit more twist through the upper body here and not putting any strain on the lower body. As you exhale, return the left hand down and inhale the right arm up to the sky. So again, you could leave both legs straight or bend into that left knee. Exhale the hand down. Inhale, other side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, good. Last one here. Exhale it down. Inhale. Return the hands down. Find the forearms to the bolster and see if you can rest the head and the forearms. And just fold here, maybe bending one knee and straightening the other. Maybe just finding some stillness. Good. Bring the hands back onto that bolster. Step the left foot forward. We're coming into quite a short stance here for our pyramid pose. As you inhale here, I want you to lift the chest and lengthen through the spine. And then as you exhale, just gently fold. And we repeat this. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale. And exhale. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. So maybe the hands find the floor. You could come and hold onto the legs if that feels good. You could again find the elbow with the opposite hand. Just keep the feet pressing into the mat. Reminding ourselves that we're surrendering into this pose. We're not pushing. Release the hands back to the mat. Step that left foot back. Give the legs and hips a little bit of a shake here, a reset. And then step the right foot forward into that nice short stance again. We come back to the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. See if you can feel like you're squeezing the inner thighs together. So there's kind of this sort of action with the legs going. So even though they might look quite passive, they're still working here in this pose. Throughout pregnancy, we want to focus on both releasing, but also strengthening. We want to keep our pelvis and the muscles that support our pelvis nice and strong. This helps to make recovery easier, but also particularly as your belly gets big and the weight increases, it's going to help you have less aches and pains towards the end of your pregnancy.
Softening in here, maybe holding the elbows, feeling those feet gripping the floor. And then releasing the hands back, step that right foot back. Just come to forward fold, shaking it out here. And then heel and toe the feet a little wider as you sit back down into your malasana. Take a little rock and a roll here. Keep that bolster where it is. Bring the right knee down. Step the left foot forward. So coming into a kneeling lunge. And again, we're using the breath and movement. Exhale as you sit back towards the heel. Inhale as you lean forwards. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, lean forwards. Good. Exhale. Inhale. This time, step that left foot back. Come to the right side. Inhale, lean forward, lift through the chest. And exhale, draw it back. Feel free to move in any way that feels good for you. While traditional yoga was kind of all about alignment and being in the correct position, I really see modern yoga as being more an exploration of the body and working out what feels good in your body. So feel free to let your yoga practice be exactly that, an exploration of your body, not needing it to look like my body does or any other teacher. Good. Step that right foot back. So bring your props back in for our child's pose to finish. We'll take the knees nice and wide so we've got lots of space here. I've got my bolster, but if you want to practice a regular child's pose, feel free to do so. The props are always optional. If your knees aren't super comfortable in this position, you can bring the blanket, again, rolled up, in between the thighs and the calves just to make it a little bit more comfortable on your body. So get the props that you need and then fold yourself forward. Again, resting the chest down. Consciously softening the belly, the face, the neck and shoulders. Letting everything sink in here. Using the breath to bring a sense of heaviness to your body. Each exhale brings you a little bit deeper into this position, sinking into the bolster, sinking into the floor, and letting go of any gripping or holding. Once again, sending the breath to the belly. And perhaps imagining your baby within, breathing with you. Inhaling and feeling a sense of energy. And exhaling into a sense of surrender and stillness. And continuing this breath, just following it as it moves through the body. On your next breath, start to wriggle the fingers and blink open the eyes, pressing the floor away with your hands. Stick a few shoulder rolls here. Just gently waking up the body. Bring the hands to heart, bow down the head. Just tuning in with your own body here, your own wisdom. Thank you once again for sharing this practice with me. Continue practicing this class as much as you like throughout this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a beautiful day.